Well, back to a new week. Obviously, disappointed over the result last weekend, and I think you guys heard me talk about that after the game. Had opportunity to look at it and review it, and then get ready for this week against a difficult team. I mean, Liberty's really well coached. Hugh Freeze is a great coach, and they've had some injuries even at the quarterback position, and for that team to be 6-1 right now. And I think their only loss was to a ranked team, Wake Forest, by 1, and that's because they went for 2, tried to win at the end. So high-powered offense, really good running back, a group of running backs that can run the ball, and then whoever they have at quarterback, I'm sure they're going to coach really well, and they have really good skill receivers, and defense is tough too. So really well coached team. Got a tough matchup this weekend. Looking forward to our team, correcting some things from last week and the last couple of weeks where we're kind of in a funk right now, obviously, with the last couple of weeks not getting the results that we hope for. But going through some adversity right now, but I think there's going to be a lot of growth, a lot of things to learn. Keep this positive attitude about trying to get better, but also have optimism that we'll get through this. And we'll get through this by working hard today and getting back on it, and holding each other accountable, and everybody doing their part. So that's the focus going into this week. So any questions?
Darnell, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Kalani. After the game on Saturday, you talked about accountability for the players and coaches. Player accountability seems pretty straightforward how that's handled, but what does accountability look like for your coaching staff?
Yeah, there's accountability in a lot of different things. That's for everybody that's in the program. I don't think this is the platform for me to explain the accountability, but it is happening. That's my job as a head coach, is to make sure that there's accountability in everybody, that everyone does their role, and that the roles are defined. So that's pretty much it.
Damien, go ahead.
Hi, Kalani. Damian Sordelet with the Lynchburg News and Advance. I wanted to ask you about one of your former players, Bentley Henshaw, who is currently at Liberty. Hugh Freeze spoke highly of how you helped with that process of him in the transfer portal and landing where he's at. What was he like as a player for you, and how, like, in terms of the film that you've seen, how have you seen him grow during this season at Liberty?
Yeah, Bentley's a great young man, and just had the honor of coaching him. I played with his dad. His dad was an upperclassman when I was a true freshman, and so I know the family really well. Great young man from a great family. When he expressed concern, it was about playing time, having opportunities. He knew that there was a bunch of tight ends that were here, just looking for an opportunity, and didn't feel like he had an opportunity to compete, and we had a really good discussion. It wasn't a negative thing, and when he was looking at different programs to look at, had those coaches call me, and it just spoke the truth. Talked about how great of a young man he is, how the things that he can do on the football field, and didn't want to lose him, but I know that he wants to be on the field and wanted to compete, and I know that Coach Freeze does a great job with his program, and that Liberty is a really great school, great place to be, especially for a young man coming from BYU that is used to living a disciplined life. So, I knew that they were going to get a really good player there, and it's kind of fun watching him on film. He's still got the great ball skills and athleticism, and just really happy that he's found a home. So, obviously won't be cheering for him this game, but afterwards, it's been fun to watch him throughout the season, and then we'll definitely wish him the best afterwards. But I can't wait to see him, give him a hug before the game and after.
Jared, and then Kevin.
Lonnie, when I think of the Utah defenses you were a part of for a very long time, a lot of times I think of a lot of creativity with overloads and stunts, and just really trying to mix things up, do a lot of different things. And yet, I went back and watched the game, and I didn't see a lot of that creativity. And again, it's hard to see just watching the TV broadcast. But what role does creativity play in defensive game planning, and how do you kind of look at that philosophically?
Well, I think there's a place for all of it. You have to have an identity and a foundation to work on. And so I wouldn't say that the when you're going against high-speed offenses like Arkansas, and there's a reason why we do no huddle as well. So when you go through teams that do that, you have a difficulty with the reason why teams do that is so that they can get you in a non-creative mode. And so it keeps things pretty basic. And so whether you do that or not, the offense has to be pretty basic too. So they're going to go fast, probably not a lot of shifts and motions, but that's the game now. I think teams are going no huddle, but then they're also doing a freeze call, and they're trying to get you into the look, and then they're trying to get the right call to it, and also communicate that to the quarterback. And I think defense, you're a reactive squad, so you have to be able. Your unit has to be able to react to what they're giving you and what they're showing. So. But there's always room for that, and room for innovation and creativity. But you've got to have a foundation of something first that you can build off of. So that's my philosophy on it.
Hey, Kalani, do you feel any pressure right now to make a change at defensive coordinator?
I feel pressure on everything, So that's just that's his job, and that's the expectations of our fans are high, and I don't have a problem with it. So reacting specifically on that one, there's when you're giving up that many points and that many yards, then that's the level of accountability. There has to be pressure on all of us, and that's my job as head coach. I don't have a problem with our fans and how I don't tell fans how to act and how to be a fan. I just really appreciate the fact that our fans care and they love us, So I think you guys heard me say this before. I want to make them all happy. I want to make the fans happy. If I'm doing my job correctly, they will be, and that's what I'm focused on.
And just to follow up to that, I know you mentioned Mitch asked you a little bit about play calling this week. Have you made a decision on whether you're going to be more involved in the play calling on the defensive side this week?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at all the different options that are out there. I think it's more important that we talk to our team first and talk to our players and communicate with them first before I mention that. I can go through all the changes that we've done from day one to now, and probably you guys get tired of it. But there's some cool things, good things to carry over, and there's some things that some tweaks and some major changes that you can do. Right now, I think it's all the timing is to make sure that whatever changes we feel comfortable with, we talk to the players first in the program.
Jake and then Mitch.
Kalani, I'll be the one to ask you. You mentioned Saturday you might have some announcements on injury, season-ending type stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Fill us in.
Let me see. Josh Larson lost for the season. Also Layden Lunt, and that happened. We had to get some tests on those. I'm trying to think of who else. Anyone in particular you want to ask about? Because I don't have the sheet in front of me.
I guess in particular, the main name is probably Peyton Wilgar.
Oh yeah, Peyton's not out for the year. He's doubtful for this weekend. We're hoping that he can go, but that's going to probably show itself in the next couple days. If he's not ready to practice, it's going to be really hard for me to allow him to play if he's not practicing. So that's going to be the key, what happens today and tomorrow. And then anybody else that you're thinking of?
And then did Jaron re-injure his shoulder, or was it just kind of a carryover from what he's been dealing with previously?
Yeah, you talking about on the late hit?
Correct, yeah.
No, I think he's a little banged up, but I think he'll be fine. It just it's unfortunate that happened, that he hasn't been at his best, but I think he's getting closer every week. Yeah, and then the other guys, I mean, we're hoping to get guys back. Peeny and Miles, we're hoping to get back this week. And then
Is Jackson out for the year? Jackson McChesney?
I know he's out for an amount of time. Not sure if it's completely out for the season, so I can't really say that. I think there's definitely out this week, but we have to see. I have to get the confirmation on that one.
Thank you.
Kalani, you said earlier that you want to have the roles clearly defined. When you say that, has Elisa Tuiaki not been calling the plays this year? Is it more you or Ed Lamb? What's the roles that have been assigned to this defense in this season?
You asking for this week or last week, or what are you
Well,
specifically?
you noted since day one.
Yeah, I
changes.
think-
what have been some of those changes?
That's what I'm talking about, the details of the changes. I don't think I owe you guys an answer on that. That's program run, so there's a lot of things that are happening.
Jared,
With,
oh, sorry. Jared, go ahead.
I know the goal offensively. We've talked a lot of defense, of course, but offensively the goal is to be balanced. But it seems like the pass game's been more effective recently than the run game overall. Although the run game's had its moments. How do you get that balance back to be able to have that kind of that balance that you want to have on both sides?
Yeah, I think the key is just to put points on the board. And I told A-Rod and Fessy and the staff, just find a way to get points on the board. I really don't care how it comes. Just the don't force something if it's not there. And sometimes the defense has something to say about it. But I think if we execute at a high level and put our guys in the best position to make plays, then that happens for us. I like the fact that we got Puka the ball a lot more this week. So that wasn't anything. I mean, and we even ran the ball with him. So that's creativity and innovation. Is just keep finding ways to get points on the board, and on the flip side of that, defensively find ways to get the points off and get off the field. That's I think just throwing those goals out to you is just there's a lot more involved in that, and that's I'm focused on trying to get our guys to play it much better and execute better, and that's the focus. I was pleased with how the offense played. Obviously, there's some things they can fix and get better. Not pleased with the defense, and that's from technique, fundamentals, assignments, and all that.
Kevin and then Jake.
Kalani, over the next 5 weeks or so, what do you think constitutes growth in this defense that you'll be looking at to say that you've made a really big jump in terms of the defensive side of the ball?
No, I just like adversity. I like some tough times. You grow the most through adversity, and so I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to what it filters out. So it could filter out quite a bit in the program and even outside. But with that being said, we've been through some adversity before, and we've bounced back. BYU football will bounce back to what our identity is and what we can hang our hat on. That's what when it comes down to, and then also what we're progressing towards. I mean, we know what's coming up in the near future, so we've got to get ourselves ready, and that's in a lot of different areas. Make sure that we're sound and like I said, matching the expectations that our fans have for us, and that's I have no problem with the expectations that they have, because I'm a fan myself too, so I understand the frustration and the concern from a lot of different angles, right? But and I'm not honestly, I don't have a problem with how fans want to be a fan. I just want to make them happy, and what I am grateful for, and what I am thankful for, is that we have fans that care so much that they support us, and that they showed up and they were here at the games in the stadium. So I want to do right by them too, and make them all happy. I think I said it before, if they're all happy, then I'm doing my job well.
Yeah, Kalani, you said in your opening statement that you're not sure what quarterback you're going to face from Liberty. I know Charlie Brewer, you have experience playing against him. There's an outside shot he could play. What's the biggest issue with preparing for potentially as many as 3 quarterbacks?
Yeah, well, the thing that you see is that they're well coached, and so I think they put points on the board. This is what Coach Freeze does with his offense. They're the high-powered offense, and their running backs can run the ball, and then they have a big old lineman. They're 6-1 for a reason. They're already bowl eligible, So, and I think they've been bowl eligible pretty much every year for the last 4 years since Hugh's been there. So, they're used to success on offense, and they're used to doing things a certain way. They have a certain standard, and we've got to disrupt that somehow. And then I don't know which quarterback's going to show up, but I can tell you one thing: he's going to be well coached, and he'll know where to go with the football. And he's going to get that offense doing what they've been doing all year, and not a lot of people have been able to stop him. And so look forward to being to the matchup and getting our defense ready to roll.
We'll take last question from Mitch.
Kalani, in the past during your tenure back to 2017 and 2019, you were always, when there was adversity that your program faced, you always were confident you knew you had the answers to get it fixed. This time around with this set of adversity, do you feel confident going forward that you do have the answers going forward, whatever they may be, to get this thing fixed? Do you still feel that level of confidence still?
Yeah, of course. But I mean, the answers it's not all with me. I don't have all the answers to everything, but I know people that do, and I know that I have resources that can get that done. And so I'm not afraid to look for places that we can improve on. But also, I like to think that I know where the answers didn't all come from my stuff. I mean, we talk about our team culture, and this was the team culture was built off of what Lavelle did for me. So I understand how to get it done, and I understand where and who and what resources to use to make sure that we're in a good position. So that's where I'm at right now. And then I know that I was short with you on the last question, Mitch, but my thing is, like, I always go to talk to the players first, and then whatever news or whatever roles that are defined out there, you guys figure out it. Then so be it. But I think for me, it's doing things in the right order, and then making sure that I just want to see our guys play at their best, and that's going to be the goal. And I've said, you guys heard me say it every week, and so it's about time it happens.
Thanks so much, Kalani.
All right, guys, appreciate it. Thank you.